This has been a video that I've wanted to make for a really long time, and I've put it off a lot. I put it off for about 6 months now because I'm so frustrated that it got to the point that I even have to address it. I don't even know where to start because there's honestly so much that needs to be. First, I just kind of want to say that regardless of what people say about a person or regardless of what evidence they feel like they have, if that evidence isn't actually showing them verbatim doing what you're saying they're doing, you're taking something out of context and you're manipulating a conversation between two people to elevate whatever point that you're trying to say, and you're essentially lying to an audience of people that trust you and believe in what you have to say. So with that being said, unfortunately, the only way to really speak my truth or get my 2 cents in about everything that has happened, I'm going to have to get into the politics of Astro Twitter, and I really don't want to because I don't spend a lot of my time and energy dealing with Astro Twitter. Like, I don't care, to put it lightly. Like, I don't want my energy spent focusing on what Becky tweeted or what thread like Jamie copied from Martha. Like, it's just, the politics are such a waste of time, and especially when you're trying to build something for yourself, you're trying to respect a craft, learn a craft, teach a craft, and then even be trusted enough to take people's money and use that, what you've learned, to help people. I feel like it's just counterintuitive to spend your time and energy focusing on the politics. But unfortunately, I was put into a situation where there's no other way to get out of it or to rid myself emotionally of what I've been dealing with for the past 6 months unless I do talk about it. And I just want to like reiterate for anyone who's watching this who might feel like they might be involved, I am not here to victimize myself. I'm not here to make you look like a bad guy. I feel like everyone subjectively has their own version of what people are and who they are. So I feel like even in my reality, if I feel like I'm a good guy, someone else could think I'm a bad guy, and that could very much be just as accurate and just as valid. So I'm not here to do that. I'm also not here to mention names, and I'm not here to ruin other people's careers, because unlike what people have tried to say about me, I don't gain anything from it. I've already taken a lot, and I feel like at this point I just want to do this video for my clients in the past that I've, taken money from and I've worked with, and they've trusted me with their money and have heard about this, or people who believe in me and want to see me do great things. This video is for you guys. Even the clients who might not be happy with me, might be upset with me, or don't follow me anymore, this video is still for you, and I'm doing this because I owe you an explanation. I owe you a better understanding of what happened and what went down. So I forgot to kind of elaborately go over my former readings, so I'm just going to explain them really quickly, because before I get into the rest of this video, I didn't really explain how it worked. So there was a basics reading, and the price did eventually, I think, go up to $45. I think it maybe was $40 to $50 range, and it was just the PDF file. It was like 10 pages of PDF, and that was the document that originally when I started the readings, I would write each part out. So some of the reading was me writing pieces out for the first time, but then eventually, because it got so saturated and I was doing so many readings, I would eventually copy and paste like sun and moon and Sagittarius, that kind of thing. And that was what you were getting. It originally was all handwritten by me, but that was the basics. And then I suggested selling synastry readings, but I never actually did. I think I did one, and then I never did it again. But it was always like an option for people to purchase, but I never actually accepted those readings. And then the VIP deluxe reading, which originally was like $60, $65. You got the 20-page to sometimes 30 pages of PDF, and then you also got an audio, and you got a whole month of unlimited questions. You could ask me like a billion questions a day and I would answer, respond with you. And now some of the audios, because I was recording on voice memo, and I have every single like receipt, like I had recorded them before the deadlines and I had sent them out, but sometimes they weren't always being sent out correctly because I was sending it a voice memo via email, like at work. Maybe there was a dead spot. Sometimes it would just not go through, or it'd go save as a draft without me knowing when I thought it was sent. And then people would come back and be like, hey, I never got my audio. And it was recorded, it was sent, it just sometimes didn't go through, but most of the time this wasn't even an issue. That was what I offered for the VIP Deluxe. So people did get personal one-on-one time with me. They did get a personal audio that made the experience more cohesive, and that was authentic 100%. But the PDF was the most scandalous part about this feature. I just wanted to reiterate that because I didn't really go into detail about what I offered, what I did, and I think that's important for this video. Something that I did wrong and that I'm going to make a strong note of not sugarcoating is I sold overpriced readings, and a lot of the work that I gave people I copy and pasted from previous work I had written. Now, I didn't just BS all of it. They were upfront that they were getting that content. I told them that my PDF files were curated from previous work that I had set down and wrote out for clients, but there were so many times that I could write Sun in Aries, Moon in Leo before it just became repetitive for me. And this also was an error both on my ethics and my knowledge as an astrologer, because technically you're not supposed to make a simplified look at each area in a person's chart. You're supposed to see how it cohesively flows together and becomes conjoined, making each placement specifically unique to that person. Now, I did refund over $1,000 in people who were previously happy with their work, but because of my name surfacing up so much, they felt uncomfortable with the fact that they had purchased from me. But I never actually had to refund anyone before any of these call out threads about my character or about my ethics. So just want to note that I did refund everyone. I haven't done a reading in 6 months, and I've been taking this time to study harder and to become stronger in my practice, in my craft, because I respect the people that trust me with their money. I respect the craft, this ancient study that I've fallen in love with, and I respect the fact that I have a platform, therefore I'm responsible, and I owe people a sense of credibility and a sense of ethics, regardless of if I wanted it or not, regardless of if I planned for this or not. I need to hold myself accountable, and I hold myself accountable for that. I messed up, and when I did this, I didn't know that the people I had shown my work to and asked if this was ethical at the time, asked if this was okay, asked if this was the right way to go about things, I didn't know that they would be the ones to make statements about me later on. I want to get this out of the way before I go into everything, because I feel like I can't start speaking my truth without owning up to the fact that I sold overpriced readings for knowledge that I could have been better with, and I should have made the experience more personalized, regardless of if clients knew about this, if they paid before they paid for it, which they did. I still should have done better for what the opportunity that I was presented with. And I'm sorry, and I have refunded, and I have stopped readings to show that I am serious about being apologetic, that I'm not just saying I'm sorry and that I'm going and taking more money. I'm not doing that. I haven't done that. And I just want to let you guys know that for the people that are disappointed in me, I do want to offer you guys more work of mine for a discounted price in the future. So I did what I could have done to reconcile and remedy the distrust that the clients felt for me. Now that that's out of the way, I just want to get into the backstory of everything, because what you guys saw was not actually the truth. What you guys saw was not the story. You guys saw a screenshot of me asking for a reading for myself, and then randomly an abrupt block after that. And then you saw someone making a statement saying that that reading specifically I was going to take and give to clients that paid me. And you never saw proof of this. You just saw what someone, showed me asking for a reading for myself, took that out of context, said that I was going to give it to clients, never gave anyone proof of that. And then over 3,000 people believed that and just took it as a grain of salt. And then you didn't see that that same person, I was using my Twitter to help out to get their money because they were having problems in their country. You didn't see that the astrology group chats that I was a part of, we were all very interconnected, and there was a lot of drama between that person and two other people that actually ended up all getting together to make statements about me. All these people didn't like each other. And I don't think that that's important in order to speak my truth on the statements that have been made about my character, but I do think that's important in terms of getting out the fact that, yeah, all these people who get together or rally together to massacre someone's identity and make statements that I've bullied someone without any evidence of me bullying anyone, all don't like each other, and all didn't like each other for a really long time, and all were either fighting publicly on Twitter or behind the scenes. And that isn't relevant to me, but I feel like because how badly my name was kind of tarnished for the sake of people being able to speak their truth, I didn't get to speak mine. So and I'm not here to victimize myself again. Like, I don't need to have an excuse because there is no excuse for my readings. And when I issued an apology statement, a lot of people were upset because I did statements about the rumors going on around about my character. People were saying, well, you bully people. People were saying, well, you stole your friend's work and sold it. Or there was a screenshot of someone correcting that I confused the terminology in a yod. And I was very popular for selling yod readings at the time, and they took that and said she doesn't even know what yods are. I know what yods are. I know how to interpret what a yod is. I know what it looks like in a chart. I know how to identify the mathematical points. I confused one terminology for one specific point of the yod, and a friend corrected me, and I said thank you. They also didn't show you the fact that I had taught them things and concepts. A lot of these people, they were collectively in group chats collaborating with one another, feeding off of one another in what I felt was productive ways. So you see a screenshot of someone correcting me, or you see a screenshot of me maybe getting a take of someone's astrology advice, but you don't see the screenshots of me giving them astrology advice or me correcting them or helping them. You see what they want you to see. And that's fine. But to completely massacre someone's reputation because you don't like them, and that's point blank what it was. You just didn't like me as a person. So you took it as far as to make up lies about me, and that's just not okay, because I'm the first person that will own up to the fact that I made a mistake. I will be the first person to actively make steps to correct my behavior and do better, which I'm showing everyone by not having sold a single reading in 6 months. But I felt like people wanted me to address rumors. People were like, well, you never said anything or you never apologized for being a bully. There was never a single screenshot that came around or circulated around in Astro Twitter about me being nasty or unprofessional to a client. There was never a single screenshot of me being nasty or yelling at a single person. I think at one point someone showed that I had gossiped about someone in a group chat, and this was taken out of context because they didn't show the fact that someone in the group chat had just self-published a book, and even though they were hardly even in the group chat or active in the group chat, they started yelling at that person instead of being happy for them for their astrology work and demanding credit. And I felt like that was really a gross feeling, and I did voice my opinion in private because I didn't know that person enough to confront them as a friend, and I also didn't feel like I needed to. I feel like people want to hold you to a higher standard when you have a bigger account, but they're allowed to be or say or do whatever they can on their end, and you're not allowed to be a person. And I'm not saying that I should have said anything. I don't even think I said anything derogatory. I think I just pretty much stated I don't like that person at the moment, or I was frustrated with them at the moment, and all they did was show that screenshot. But they didn't show any context behind it. All they did was show a screenshot of me saying something negative, and then they were confronting me later about how I said something and I denied it because I didn't think that they knew, and they were just kind of making me look shady. And the thing is, they didn't show the subtext of them being very aggressive and mean to someone instead of honoring someone's work because they felt like that person had put updates of their work in the group chat and everyone had collectively commented on it, and so therefore they deserved credit. And I felt like that was just not fair. There's so much about the politics that you guys don't know, and there's so much that you guys don't see. And I'm not saying that I did everything perfectly and I'm being targeted and harassed. I don't think that. I think there's something that I did to provoke people to feel these ways about me, and I definitely hold myself accountable. I think that people did like me and maybe wanted to get to know me, and maybe I was closed off, or I didn't really give people a chance, or I was so focused on making money and working with clients and putting out Twitter content and starting a YouTube channel that I didn't really get that opportunity to connect with people. And I think it made me look kind of distant or cold. And I think it's easy to not like someone when you don't really understand what's going on in their head. But at the same time, these things that were shown around about me weren't true. They were lies, and I just don't understand that. And then another thing that really frustrated me was not only were people saying I was a scammer, I was a bully, I was a plagiarizer. And true, you can plagiarize your own work. So even though I told people before purchasing my work, hey, this is curated, this is going to be copy pasted from a document that I had previously written while I was working with clients and writing up the same exact placement, because I didn't make cohesive readings back then. I made reports, which I know now, but at the time I thought that was an adequate reading. I had shown all these people, all the same people that you see threads about me, I showed them my work. I shared my work with them. I gave them everything about my information that they needed, and I said, is this okay? Is this accurate? Is this valid? Is this ethical? And they were all supportive. Now, this is the part that I think I've had to sit with for 6 months, and I've had a really hard time emotionally letting go of, is the fact that in November, when people started making these call-out threads about my ethics and my scamming and my bullying, none of these people were clients. And the first person who had made a thread about me told me later on that the two people that came to her and told her to do this thread, even though she didn't even know me, one of them was my on and off childhood friend that I had introduced to astrology Twitter, that I had introduced to astrology. And I don't own astrology, but I'm just saying, like, it's saturated in thick politics between people and their personal vendettas that you don't get to see. It wasn't a client that spoke out about me. And even this is the thing that really did hurt me, because I did feel like maybe I wasn't approachable enough with my clients, because I did see screenshots of clients going to them. And I never saw, again, like, there was no email of me ever being nasty or rude to a client. I was never dismissive of a client, and there was no proof to back that up. But at the same time, obviously maybe something about my personality wasn't that approachable, because I started to see clients go to these people and say they weren't happy with my work. But this was already after all of these threads broke out, and I don't actually know if they were clients. I don't actually know if these people just had random anons in their ask box and they wanted to further what they were saying about me, because no one ever came to me. Clients never came to me and said they were dissatisfied with my work. So when people started calling out my character or saying that the way my readings looked were bad, those people that said that, those things were never clients. I never had a client that started this controversy. It was people who didn't like me getting other people to do their dirty work. That's how it started. Now, do I think that I was in the wrong? Yeah, 100%. I was in the wrong 100%. I should have done better. I should have done a reading instead of a report, which essentially I gave people reports. And I didn't know that back then, because I was sitting around on a computer typing out each placement, each singular placement, you know, sun through all 12 signs, Venus in all 12 houses, every single aspect that I saw in a chart. Like, I hand wrote that out in my head based off of what I know, and I didn't copy or paste anything. And at the time I thought that that was acceptable, and I was being told by these people that that was acceptable. So it was my first time doing readings, and before then I was probably only studying astrology for 3 to 4 years. Now I've been studying it for 5 years, but I still feel like I have so much more to learn. And I think because I got wrapped up in how many followers I had, instant feedback and gratification I was getting, I felt confident to do what I was doing, and I didn't feel like I was doing the wrong thing. And I think I was going too fast, and I was burning the candle at both ends, and I wasn't giving myself myself enough time to really process what was going on. I was just accepting and accepting and accepting ratings and pumping out tweets and pumping out videos, and I wasn't stopping to take my time. And that's what I should have done, and that's where I went wrong, and that's why I think so many people should be upset with me. 100% you should be angry with me for that, and that's something that I need to do myself better next time. If I even get the opportunity to work with people again, if you even feel like I deserve that from you, and that's for you to decide. But people were saying I stole templates of theirs. People were saying I copy and pasted their work from group chats, but then no one was showing proof of that because it wasn't true. It wasn't backed up. The same people who showed me getting advice for how they go about their readings, you know, an idea in my head of how to do my readings, to see what other ethical people that I respected at the time. I respected them so much, and I just wanted to see how they do their thing, and I was going to try to see how I could, what worked best for me. Those same people saw my work while I was doing readings, and there were group chat witnesses, people that I'm still friends with to this day, who were friends with all of us at the time, saw them encourage me, saw my work, said it was great, said it was good to go. And then, you know, the call outs in November happened. Those same people turned around and said, she stole my readings. Here's a screenshot of her asking how I do my readings. I should have known she stole my readings. She stole my template. And honestly, that's not even, like, you're just lying. Like, that's what I don't get. You're lying about it. Like, what do you, I don't know. It's just, you make Google documents and you do Sun and Aries, Moon and Taurus, Venus and Leo, and there's really no, that's not a branded document or template that someone made up. That's just listing placements. And I feel like for anyone to try to like stake their claim in that, I don't get it. I'm confused by it, especially when they originally were the ones encouraging me. And I get how all of this must sound. You know, I'm wrapped up in all this drama that I am telling you I'm not even trying to be associated with, and I don't have the screenshots to show you guys, because when I was in these group chats with these people and we would talk occasionally, or I would go to them for something, or they would come to me for something, I wasn't thinking that I needed to document it to protect myself, because I don't know, I didn't think that I shouldn't trust them. And people were showing they had screenshots of conversations from the first time I had ever even spoken to them, and I get that. I guess, you know, I have a bigger account, and I think I was naive, and I didn't think that like the stigma behind the numbers made me a different kind of person to people. But I felt like people just were trying to take a stab at me. And this all started because one person that I introduced to astrology Twitter, who I was friends with on a roleplay group, who used to on and off fight with me a lot, and people from that group remember them. Like, they bullied me before. They had used things against me in my teen years before, and I had forgiven them, and I introduced them to this universe because I was excited to just have a friend. Like, I'm actually a pretty lonely person. I don't really have friends, and I'm not saying that for your sympathy. I don't want your sympathy. I'm just saying, like, I'm very trusting very easily of people, and I think that's just because I don't know, I just don't, I'm kind of reclusive, so I don't really have a lot of one-on-one interactions, and I'm sure you can probably see that by the way that I act in my YouTube videos. I look weird, like, it's, I don't know. So this person has always been on and off with me. We've had falling outs. We've both done things we weren't proud of as teenagers, and then they came to Twitter and they started, you know, telling everyone about personal things in my life. They started showing my birth chart to people to bully my placements. Like, they've said and done things, and they've held on to such, like, so much anger toward me, even when I've apologized, even when I've tried to, you know, care about them or just be there for them. And at the end of the day, like, I still love that person. I'm not trying to make this video because I want them to be a bad person. I don't even think they're a bad person. I just think that they have unhealthy tendencies, and I just don't get why they hated me so badly that they went to someone and started this. Like, they went to someone to essentially expose me when every time that I had been friends with them, all I did was try to give them followers or give them, knowledge, or try to teach them anything that I knew, or try to help them in any way that I could. And I wasn't always the best. Like, I'm a person. I get angry sometimes, I get tired sometimes, I get cranky, but I never intentionally tried to ruin them. And I don't know. I don't have that in me, and I feel like, I don't know. And then the last thing that I just want to address, because one person really wanted people to think that I was a bully because I was in a group chat and there was this person there that I had never spoken to before, and they had just admitted to selling a reading that they didn't know anything about. They sold someone something that they didn't know a topic of that they told them about. And I blocked them. At the time, like, I didn't know anyone. I had like a few friends, and didn't ever speak to this person before, and I felt like they were being unethical and didn't really like the way that they were kind of comfortable enough to tell strangers about that. So I blocked them. I didn't think anything of it, and then everyone kind of came to me and said that I was bullying and that they have anxiety and depression, and I just gave them a panic attack because I blocked them even though I never spoke to them before. And I didn't mean to hurt their feelings, but I also didn't feel like I needed to give them an explanation. Like, I don't know them. Like, why? Is it because I had a lot of followers, like, that you freaked out because I didn't want to be around you? Like, and I'm not even saying that to be like, I have a lot of followers. Like, yeah, like, it's cool to have followers. It's cool to have that validation. But at the end of the day, like, I'm still allowed to be a person. Like, I'm still allowed to not like someone or not want to be around someone and peacefully block someone or take myself out of the situation. That doesn't make me a bully. Me blocking you doesn't make me a bully. It just means that I want to protect my energy, and I don't want to talk to you. I feel like a bully is someone that attacks someone or is rude to someone or is constantly trying to put them down or hurt them on a very emotionally vulnerable level. And me taking myself out of situations, if that hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm not trying to hurt someone. I don't want to hurt people. I don't feel happy because I hurt people. At the same time, though, like, I don't see how I'm not allowed to choose who I want to be friends with, or choose who I want to talk to, or choose who I want to associate with, especially when I'm, this new up and coming brand, and I want to be a business one day, and I want astrology to be my full-time job. Like, I love astrology and I care so much about it, and I know I post a lot of memes, or I post a lot of like shock value content, and I don't really focus on a lot of details or the craft all the time, but at the same time, like, I'm always studying, and I'm always so excited to talk to people in my day-to-day life about astrology. And I love that I'm able to relate to people, because I don't personally feel like I'm someone that relates to people. And having a platform where I can connect with people or engage with them in a way that I don't feel like I personally am able to, it means a lot. And I don't want to let people down. I don't want to be some bad stigma. I don't want to be some taboo person. But at the same time, I don't want to be someone that went down with a fight. I don't want to be someone that walked away from something I loved because someone made me feel like I didn't deserve to have it, or because they made me feel like I wasn't allowed to make a mistake and I shouldn't deserve a second chance. And again, for my old clients who didn't feel comfortable with the work they got from me, who were disappointed by me, who were let down, who unfollowed or don't want to talk to me, I respect that, but I really want to make amends. I really want to do right by you. Obviously, it's been almost a year since the scandals happened about my reputation and my readings. I want to give you discounted future readings when I start readings again. I want to even answer any questions you have about your chart now for free. Like, I want to talk to you. I want to hear what you have to say. Overall, I want you to know that you are not a transaction to me, and I'm sorry that I unethically got caught up in an algorithm that didn't work for you and didn't work for me, and I want to make it better. But I also need people to know that there are two sides to every story, and not everything is as it seems. And even if someone shows a screenshot of someone saying that Becky looks bad today, maybe they don't know the context or the conversation that happened right before it. Maybe the person showing that screenshot just said that person looks ugly, and maybe right after that screenshot was showed, the other person said that maybe she's sick and showed concern, but all you saw was Becky looks bad today, so now that person's bad. I'm just saying, like, you don't know the internet, you don't know the inner politics. You know, when someone's taking a stand and they're talking about being friends with someone and they're going off on their side of what the truth was to them, that's not valid. But I think you don't know the politics. You don't know that person that's telling you this story. You don't know the person that they're talking about. All you're hearing is what they want you to hear. All you're seeing is what they want you to see. And I just think that it's a really dark way to lead your own brand, or, you know, talk to your own platform, because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what you thought of me, but you're willingly lying and insinuating things about me that you can't actually prove, and that's just not okay. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I mostly did this video for my old clients, for my followers, subscribers, and people that just have questions. And now I never talked about it. I didn't talk about all this. I apologized for my readings, and then I went quiet for 6 months, and it made me look guilty. But in my head, I didn't feel like I needed to apologize for something I know I didn't do. So I'm not sorry about my reputation, because I know what I am, and I know who those people are, and I know what actually went on behind closed doors, because I was there. And if you don't want to believe me, if you think like this video gives you bad vibes, that's fine. Like, at the end of the day, there's so many astrologers out there. There's so many people who are smarter in what they do with astrology than I am, who've been doing it longer, who've been doing it better overall, and that's fine. Like, I've only been doing this for like 5 years. I don't have a certification. I just want you to know that I'm doing better, and I'm trying to be as respectful to this as I can be, and I'm not someone that's just here to take people's money and hurt people's feelings. And there's no gain that I have out of this video, because the damage is already done. It's been going on for 6 months. I've been saturated in it, and I'm not expecting that people just start loving me again. I don't expect you to. I'm just asking that you determine for yourself whether or not I'm worthy of being able to have a second chance. And if I can prove to myself, to you, that I'm not those things, and that I'm going to do better with my future work, that I eventually want to start selling, but I'm not ready yet. And I want to be ready. I want to be good. I want to be deserving of people's money, and I don't feel like I was. And I'll make amends for that until years from now, because that's something that I really do feel bad about. Like, I don't feel that's something that was okay. Yeah, I mostly just did this video for me. I want to bury all of it after this video, because I have been holding on to a lot of anger and pain, and I have been dwelling on this, and I just need to let this go, and I need to move on. And for people who even made those threads, like, if you want to talk to me, like, I'll talk to you. Like, my email's in my bio. Like, I don't want to fight. I don't care. I don't feel like I was that person, and I do feel like a lot of what happened about me was not okay. It was wrong, and that's something that I've made my peace with. I know what I did wrong and what I didn't do, and I can make peace with that. But I forgive everything. Like, I'm over it. I want forgiveness for myself, hopefully. I don't care anymore. I just want to move on with my life, and I want to be better, and I want to let it go, because it's been really heavy, and I have not really been myself, and I just needed to do this to really just completely let it go. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening if you're still here with me. I don't really know how to end this. So have a good day, guys, and I will see you in my next video, and we will never talk about this again. But at the same time, if anyone has questions, if you want to talk to me, you know, email me, tweet at me, I'll DM you. Like, I'm open to always talking about this. If anyone has questions, approach me. Like, I never want to be someone that is unapproachable. And I'm sorry if I ever looked that way. I'm sorry if I ever made anyone feel that way. And yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.